T&D Sports Talk. I'm Daniel.
I'm Tanner.
And today we'll be covering the 2019 NBA Draft Analysis.
So basically, this is our first video on the channel. We were going to do a mock draft, just couldn't get it out in time. We got it, but just not filmed in time. So we're sorry about that, but we're going to give you the analysis, how we feel about the draft, and
overall how the team did?
Just overall how each team did. So basically, we're going to give a letter grade for each team, and we're not going to go through, 1 through 60. We're just going to go through each team, name who they took, and how we feel about their picks and how they did overall. So just a little FYI for the channel, we will be covering basketball only, just NBA. I'm sure some college here and there, but primarily NBA news, trades, signings, what we think, predictions, and just reactions, how we feel about it, and just giving our opinion on stuff that happens. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
First off, we have Washington with the 9th pick in the first round. They took Rui Hachimura from Gonzaga, and they also had a 12th pick in the second round. They took an Admiral Schofield from Tennessee. In my opinion, for the Washington Wizards this year, I believe that they had a pretty average draft. I could have seen giving them a B simply because, in my opinion, they took Rui Hachimura way too early in the draft. I don't see him being the type of talent that they really used on him.
This one's tough, but yeah, I'm going to have to agree. And give them a C as well. I mean, like he said, I feel like they really stretched and got Hachimura. We had them taking Sekou Doumbouya with the 9th pick. He fell all the way to 15 to Detroit, but Hachimura, not bad. He's a kind of an all-around guy, but it's just his basketball IQ is not caught up to speed, in my opinion, for the NBA. And Admiral Schofield, I love him. Great pickup. I think he can be a diamond in the rough, but I just don't like them taking Hachimura that early, so I got to go with the C. Next up, we have Utah. Now, Utah had a bunch of second-rounders pretty close together. They took Jarrell Brantley with in the second round with the 20th pick. We didn't have him going, so that's a stretch in my opinion. 23rd pick in the second round, they took Justin Wright-Foreman out of Hofstra. He's a scorer, but we had him going 57th, I think.
I think so.
And then Maione out of Yale, 28th pick, second round, did not have him going either. I got to give them a D. And it's not because they were all second rounders, and this is a pretty weak draft, let's just be honest. It's just because who they took. I just feel like there's better players available with the 20th pick and the 28th pick. I like the Wright-Foreman pick. He can really light it up. And I'm assuming they're going to trade Rubio now that they got Mike Conley Jr. in that trade from Memphis. So Wright-Foreman could turn into a solid backup for them. But they took Oni, he's a 2-guard. They took Brantley at the 4. Maybe adding some depth there if Derek Favors leaves town. And I don't know, just a D for me.
I don't have to give them a C, personally, simply because I think it was a pretty average draft for them. They made do with what picks they had. And overall, I think they did a pretty decent job. Like you said, if Derek Favors was to leave, I could see them putting a little bit of faith into Jarrell Brantley. Next up, we have Toronto. Toronto had 1 pick. They had the 29th pick in the second round. They took a DeJuan Hernandez from Miami, center.
Next to last pick in the draft. So at this point, you're just kind of hoping to get lucky, pulling names out of a hat, maybe. I think maybe that's what they did. We did not have him going, and that's for good reason. Ranked 91st overall. So if you were just to go 1 through 60 and pick him by that, he would have not even made it if there were 3 rounds. So, yeah.
Just missed that one, buddy.
Just missed that one.
I'm going to give him a D. I would give him a C, but, I mean, they really don't need any more depth at center. Unless to say that Marc Gasol was not to stay. But overall, I give him a D.
F. I understand it's the next to last pick, but I mean, really? 91st rank? Maybe we'll be wrong. He might just be a stud. But they have Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka. Really, that duo right there is just really good for them. I mean, I just don't like it. F. Next, we have Sacramento. Now, they also had second-round picks, fairly close together. With the 10th pick in the second round, they took Justin James out of Wyoming. Didn't have him going. 25th pick in the second round, they took
Kyle Guy.
Kyle Guy. They took Kyle Guy. If you know us personally, you get that joke. But Kyle Guy out of Virginia, point guard, shooting guard. And then they took Vanja Marinkovic out of Serbia with the last pick in the draft. I'm going to have to go with the D. Another D. I just don't see the significance of moves here. I like the. No, I don't. I'm sorry. I mean, they don't. They took 3 guards: shooting guard, point guard, shooting guard. They have De'Aaron Fox at the point, Yogi Ferrell's backup, and then they also have Frank Mason as a third backup if they needed him. So they're taking Kyle Guy. Where's he going to fit in at? I don't really get that one. Then again, Justin James at the 2 and Vanja Marinkovic at the 2. Buddy Hield, Bogey, Alec Burks. I just don't like it, especially with the 10th pick in the second round. There's still a chance at talent there. I don't like it.
Maybe. I give them an F personally, simply because, like I said, they're a very guard-heavy team at this time. I don't see these guys getting very much playing time, if any at all. Maybe in trash time, but that's all I really have to say. Next up, we have San Antonio. San Antonio had 3 picks. The 19th in the first, they took Lucas Samanic from Croatia. With the 29th in the first, they took Keldon Johnson from Kentucky. He fell quite a bit.
He fell a lot.
Yeah.
We had him go 17th to Atlanta.
And then with the 19th in the second round, they took Quindary Weatherspoon from Mississippi.
Did we have him going? I think we did late.
Very late.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm going to go ahead for San Antonio. I'm going to give them a C. Pretty average draft all around. They took a young talent, Lucas Samanic from Croatia. I see him maybe making a few big moves this year.
I had him going 27 to Brooklyn, so I feel like he went early. I'm going to give them a C as well. I don't know. I just don't. I like the players they took. I do. I like Lucas Samanic, very good stretch 4. Love Keldon Johnson, great shooter, and then Quindary Weatherspoon, pretty aggressive guard. But it's just, for me, this doesn't really fit. The fit's just not there. Lucas Samanic is almost a carbon copy of Davis Bertans. You know, their stretch 4 who lit it up this year shooting the ball, did very good. They got LaMarcus at the 4. You know, Rudy Gay ran the 4 for them some too. I just don't like that. I mean, he fits them, I guess, you know, since if they can make another Bertans out of him, but I just feel like it kind of clogs it up. Keldon Johnson, they have Rudy Gay, who's primarily a 3. DeMar DeRozan ran the 3 a lot for him. Lonnie Walker could even run it. I just don't like that either. And then Quindary Weatherspoon. I mean, yeah, let's see. I can't really say anything else. Up next, we have Portland, and we'll just go ahead and say I love what Portland did. They took Nasir Little. He fell. Not really in our eyes, but in everybody else's eyes, he fell. We had him going 20th to Boston, right? 20th to Boston. That's where you had him going. So, great job. Great job. I got to go with an A, and not based off exactly who it is, but the fit. They did great. I mean, their small forwards what really killed them in the playoffs. They had Mo Harkless, Alfred Camino kind of running it, Jake Layman a little bit. Those just aren't good players, I think. So, yeah, I just really like the pickup. He could potentially be a good fit for them and maybe get them a little bit farther in the playoffs. So.
I'll go ahead and also give him an A, simply because, like you said, I really like the fit Nasir Little can offer to Portland. You really look at their lineup, I mean, what are they really missing? Small forward.
Yeah.
I really hope Nasir Little can thrive in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Phoenix. Phoenix. Before I even say anything, I'll give him an F. With the 11th pick in the first round, they took Cameron Johnson from North Carolina.
We had him go 24 to Philly.
And with the 24th pick in the first, they took Ty Jerome for Virginia. I do not like their choices with the 11th pick, to say the least. Cameron Johnson, he's not going to do very good this year, in my opinion, in my eyes.
They must be focused on LaMelo. That's all I got to say next year. Because they're just reluctant to take a point guard.
Yep.
And their need is a point guard. This was laughable for me. F. I don't understand how you can mess this up. They had the 6th pick originally, and they traded the 6th pick away to Minnesota, who got a steal. Dario Saric. And the 11th pick.
That's it, yeah.
Solid stretch for Dario, don't get me wrong. I think he'll fit great in Phoenix. Maybe he's what Dragan Bender should have been.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, the 6th pick, we had them taking Kobe White.
Kobe.
Guess
Which
who was
they
on,
needed.
Guess who was on the board with the 6th pick? Mr. Kobe White. Point guard, he would have fit in great. They just can't have Devin Booker running the offense and be successful. They don't have any other perimeter threats. So maybe that's why they took Cam Johnson, because he's a great shooter, don't get me wrong, but that's all he can do. You know, I don't know how you messed that up. They have one job. They have one. We had talked about it. Like it was guaranteed Phoenix is going to actually make a good move this year, and they just messed it up. But they did sign Jalen LeCue. He's out of high school. Brewster, I think, Academy?
I think so.
And 4-year deal. He went undrafted. I like that move, but that's still, I think he'll be a very good player. But that doesn't suffice for me. F.
We have Philadelphia. They had the 20th pick in the first round. They took Matisse Thybulle from Washington. They also had a second-round pick, Marial Shayok from Iowa.
We didn't have him going, did we?
We did not have Marial Shayok going, unfortunately.
Iowa State did not. What do you think?
I give him a C. Pretty average draft. I do like Matisse Thybulle. That's the only reason I give him a C. Otherwise, I probably would have given him about a D. Honestly, I mean, I kind of like them trying to add a little bit of depth at the small forward position.
Definitely.
That's pretty average for me.
I gotta give him a B. I like the pickup of Matty Thybulle, simply because they traded away Rocco to get Jimmy Butler. No guarantee that Jimmy is going to stay. No guarantee that Tobias will stay. There's been rumors they're going to ship off Joel Embiid. I don't believe that, but anyways, only complaint is maybe could have used a point guard.
Yeah.
Or another shooting guard. Thibault can play the two, but I mean somebody that can shoot. A good shooting guard.
To JJ Redick.
A backup to JJ, because he could be on the way out as well. He's a free agent. They got a lot of holes to fill. But still, I like Matt Thibault. Best defender in the draft, in my opinion. We had him falling, I think, late first, early second, something like that. But anyway, I like the pickup for them. Could be a pretty good backup 3 or 2. So I got to give him a B. Next up, we have Orlando. I believe they only made one pick. Yeah, it was Chuma Okeke out of Auburn, the forward, with the 16th pick in the first round. And you can go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead and give Orlando a D. I do like Chuma Okeke as a player. However, they are pretty big heavy. They didn't really take anybody that they needed this draft. I mean, you already have Aaron Gordon. Jonathan Isaac can run a little bit of the 4. And you already have Vucevic at the center.
Terrell Martin, Kim Birch.
Martin. I don't see him
I just don't
thriving in Orlando. I don't.
D. The kid tore his ACL in the playoffs. He's probably not going to be able to play for you guys this year. 16th pick, we had them taking Nickeil Alexander-Walker, which would have fit perfect. I just don't get it. Alexander-Walker went 17. Yeah. So I mean, I don't understand. Like you said, big heavy team. Vucevic, Bamba, Gordon, Mozgov, Isaac, Birch, Darrell Martin. There's 7 right there off the top of my head. There might be more. I just don't get it. They should have taken a guard. They traded Jonathan Simmons away to Philly. They basically had no back. Melvin Frazier is the backup too. Wow, Alexander Walker could have probably came in and maybe even started over Fournier if he had a good rookie year. And they could ship Fournier off in a $17 million contract. I think they messed up. Yeah.
Next up, we have Oklahoma City.
Woo-hoo!
They had one pick, Darius Baisley with the 23rd pick from USA.
Yeah, he didn't go down. Baisley, interesting prospect. He's supposed to go to the G League, signed a contract to play. He signed to New Balance, actually. The last time I checked, don't hold me to it. But I'm pretty sure he signed with New Balance, and he was supposed to go play in the G League and just didn't. I don't know the details on it, but I love his game. A tall lefty. I said he reminds me of Kevin Durant, the way he moves and his play style. Not saying he's going to be Kevin Durant, but I'm just saying. I love to pick up for them, especially 23rd pick in the first round. We had him going to Brooklyn with the 31st pick. I like it a lot. I got to give him an A.
I also give him an A simply because I do like them adding a little bit of depth behind Paul George. What else do you really need?
All right, New York. They took R.J. Barrett with the 3rd pick in the first round and Ignas Brazdeikis in the second round with the 17th pick. We didn't have him going, but he was one of those guys that's kind of on the bubble. I got to give them a B simply because I just like R.J. Barrett. I just really think he's going to fit in good there at the 2. Alonzo Trier will make a good 6-man as well. New York's doing good things, and their other lacking position was power forward. Noah Vonleh just not cutting it, or Lance Thomas, So I like to pick up a little bit later in the draft. Maybe he can turn out to be a stud for them, hopefully.
Also, I'll give them an A. I'm sorry. I'll give them an A simply because it's the Knicks. You can't really get any worse from here. I do like RJ as a player. Honestly, I feel that he will kind of lead the team a little bit.
I think he'll thrive.
Yeah.
Whew. Go ahead.
Next up, we have New Orleans with 4 picks. Obviously, they got Zion with the first from Duke, and they also had the 8th pick in the first, Jackson Hayes from Texas, and they also had the 17th pick in the first. They took Nickeil Alexander-Walker from Virginia Tech, and then with their second-round pick, and with the 5th pick, they took Marcos Luzada Silva from Brazil.
I didn't know this man existed. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll give him an A, simply because I really love the depth that they've added with the trade for Anthony, and they've really made moves towards the draft.
New Orleans should be a very fun team to watch this year. I'm giving them an A, but you just better be glad that Zion and Jackson Hayes are carrying that decision for me, because I don't get picking up Luzada Silva, however you say Luzada Silva. I just don't like that. They don't really need him. That's, in my opinion, a no-name. Maybe he'll be good, but you don't need him. You got Ingram, Darius Miller. Each one more can play it. I mean, he doesn't really fit in. And then Alexander Walker, a great talent. Don't get me wrong, but where's he fit in at? Drew Holiday, Ian Clark, traded for Josh Hart. Each one more is primarily 2. I don't understand that. And that's 17. That's still lots of talent on the board. But then again, at this point, it's kind of like there's nothing else to take, so just take the best player available. You know, because they have all the holes filled. They just need time to develop. Of course, getting Zion and Jackson Hayes, I love that. I got to give them an A.
I see them trading away either the rookie Nickeil or Drew Holiday this season.
You think Drew Holiday? They might trade Drew Holiday and just look to go all young, which I don't blame them if they did.
Young core is the best thing to have.
Mm-hmm. Minnesota Timberwolves. Now they absolutely robbed Phoenix and got the 6th pick for virtually a role player. I mean, let's just be honest. He didn't start. Taj Gibson started most of the year. He didn't do anything special on Dario Saric, but they took Jared Culver. I was a little bit confused. I really thought they were going to go with Kobe White here. I really did. But, you know, Wiggins at the 3, Towns at the 5. Now you got Culver at the 2, a guy that can really light up and score, and maybe take some pressure off of Wiggins having to score on the perimeter. I like it a lot. And then Jalen Noel out of Washington, I don't like that pick. They have Okogie and Tyus Jones backing up now what's probably going to be Jarrett Culver, and I just don't like that a lot. But I'll give him a B because I love Jarrett Culver. So
I'll go ahead and give them a B also, simply because they did make the big moves toward the draft, but I didn't really see them pulling the trigger as much as I thought they would.
yes, sir. All right, up next we have Memphis. They took Ja Morant, 2nd pick in the 1st round, and Brandon Clark, which was a steal, with the 21st pick in the 2nd round. I love it. This team is going to be really, really fun to watch here in a couple of years if they can keep this core together. A.
I'll also give him an A. I really like Ja Morant. I think that he will, if not better, or he will be better than what Mike Conley
I think he will be.
accomplished in Memphis. And I also do like the steal, like
It's
you
not hard
said.
to, just a bunch of 2nd round exits. I mean,
I also do like the steal, Brandon Clark, big man from Gonzaga.
yeah, I'm assuming they'll play him at the 4, and they'll have to bump Jared Jackson to the 5, or Clark at the 5, and vice versa. But
I see them thriving in Memphis.
probably trading away Valanciunas, if I had to guess. But
I can see that.
good
yeah.
core, good core.
Very good core.
Los Angeles Lakers, they had 1 pick after making the AD trade. They took Taylor Horton Tucker, 2nd round, 16th pick. Absolutely loved this. They had 1 pick, and they did good. We had him going a lot higher, 28 to the Warriors. I love it. He fits them, gets them some defense. They're not a good defensive team. Gives them some defense. I like it.
I give him a B, simply because I do like Taylor Horton Tucker. And also, they really did, like you said, they really execute on this pick. Being so late in the draft, they really did get a pretty decent player.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have the Clippers. They had 2 picks. The 27th and the 1st was Mfiondu Kabengele from Florida State.
Just don't understand.
Teammates from Florida State, actually.
Yeah.
And the 18th pick in the 2nd round, they took Terrence Mann.
I just don't get it.
Go ahead and give him a big ol' F.
Ooh.
That's an F. You already have Montrezl Harrell at the center.
Zubac.
And Zubac. I don't see where Mfiondu is going to fit in, personally, and you traded for the pick.
Yeah.
Why would you waste it on that? I mean, have you already given up on Montrez and Ivica? They're still young.
Montrez is probably going to be 6th man of the year or runner-up to their teammate Lou Williams. I don't get it. I just don't. And then the Terrence Mann pick, I mean, maybe not terrible.
It's not awful.
It's not awful. And you're getting teammates, so maybe that'll rise them. I don't know. Maybe they're looking to bump Montrezl Harrell down to the 4,
I could see
where
that,
he's
maybe.
6'9", but he can't space the 4 at all.
No.
So I don't know. Personally, I've got to give them a D, just simply because I do like Cabangeli and his game, but I just don't like him for Los Angeles. That's it for me.
Next up, we have Indiana Pacers.
Confusing.
Indiana Pacers.
Confusing pick.
Very confusing pick.
Go ahead.
With the 18th pick in the first round, they took Goga Bitadze from Georgia. They're Georgia, the country. Oh, it's really hard.
It's confusing.
I'll give him a D.
Really?
Simply because they already have Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis. I could see giving them a C if I knew for a fact that they were thinking about bumping down Domantas to the 4 instead of him playing the 5 this year. But with the current roster, with 3 centers and you waste the 18th pick on one, I don't see it working out.
I love Goga.
I do too. Don't get me wrong, I
Yes.
love Goga.
I'm going to give them a C. And at the end of the year, I will either give them a B or a D. Because here's why. If you bump Domantas, who I love, down to the 4, you finally start him. Thad Young, contract's up, maybe he'll be out of town. But either way, and then Goga's your backup 5, okay, I'll give you a B. If they just log jam it and leave Sabonis at the 5, and then Goga touches the 4 for 5 minutes a game, I'll give him a D. So I'm still confused. I'll give him a C for now.
Houston did not have a pick.
None. Golden State, I'm still confused on this. I'll give them a D. They took Jordan Poole with the 28th pick in the first round out of Michigan, shooting guard. Then they took Alan Smaligic, 9th pick in the second round. They took Eric Pascal with the 11th pick in the second round. I don't know. I just don't like it. I like Pascal. Good player. Don't see where he fits. You got Draymond. You got Jordan Bell. You got Jonas Jerebko. I don't see that. Alan Smaligic, I do like that pick. I don't know. We didn't have him. You know, he's 6'10" out of Serbia. We didn't have him going. But they do need help at the center position, especially if they don't re-sign Boogie.
Needed.
Yes, you know, they got Damian Jones and Kevon Looney kind of working it. It's not that good. So maybe they can get a steal there. Jordan Poole, 28th pick, I don't get that. They do need offense, so I like it for that. But they've been known to take guys later in the draft and develop them well. And he has no defense, which is not like them to take. Clay's probably going to be out the whole year. Maybe they're looking to get a scoring 2-guard. Yeah.
I'll also give him a D, like you said. I do like the Smeligic pick, simply because he's a center, not because of talent. They've lacked a center since, 2016? And who started that year in the finals? Bogut. Old man Bogut. Don't really. I could see them maybe
They've liked the center since Chamberlain.
developing him a little bit, but that's about it. And Jordan Poole, I did not like that pickup very well. I can kind of see it, like you said, if Clay does have to sit up the remainder of the year.
Up next, we have Detroit, and they took Sekou Doumbouya with the 15th pick in the first round. They also took, I'll go ahead and finish the picks. They also took, in the second round, Dividas Servidus, 7th pick. We had him going later. Isaiah Roby, 15th pick, second round. And then Jordan Bone, 27th pick in the second round. So they took power forward, small forward, power forward, and a point guard. They got their man, Jordan Bone, 27th pick, second round. I like that. They need help at point guard. Ish Smith, Langston Galloway, Reggie Jackson, simply just not cutting it. I like Doumbouya. They're going to have to play him at the 3 if they're going to give him any playing time, in my opinion.
I don't see him.
Maybe it's a backup 4 with Blake, but I don't know. So, simply because Doumbouya has such great upside, I'm going to give them a B. But for fit, I'd give a C. A B's my B.
I give them a C simply because they didn't pull the trigger on the whole point guard position need very much earlier. I mean, you almost had the last pick.
Yeah.
I don't see how you would think that having another power forward. I like Sekou, don't get me wrong, but I don't really see how you could use that early of a draft pick on something that you didn't need that much.
All right, next, Daniel, just go.
We have Denver with the 14th pick in the second round. They took Ball, 44th overall in the draft from Oregon.
If anyone
this pick
knows
was
me,
traded
sorry, go
from
ahead.
Miami
Yeah.
to Denver.
If anyone knows me personally, you know I'm a Miami Heat fan. He's a Dallas Maverick fan. There's a FY. Dwayne Wade's my favorite player ever. His is Dirk. You can see the connection. Anyway, we had this man going 10th to Atlanta. He just fell and fell and fell all because of an injury, which, maybe, I guess, whatever. We traded him for a 2024 second rounder in cash. I just don't get it. He's worth the risk at that point. He's worth the risk after he falls out of the lottery. This is the year to do it, too. This draft was awful outside of the top, I'm going to say 10, and that's being nice. I just don't understand why Miami traded it. I don't get it, but we're focused on Denver. Because of that, Denver absolutely robbed us blind. Hats off to Denver. That's enough said.
Seriously.
Dallas
did not have a pick.
No, they did, and they traded.
Oh, yeah, we had the 37th pick, yeah.
Imagine bowling Porzingis. Whoo!
Didn't happen, not going to happen.
That's a shame.
No one get over it. Next up, we have Cleveland. They had 3 picks with the first and the first, with the 5th in the first round. They took a Darius Garland from Vanderbilt. They took a Dylan Windler with the 26th pick from Belmont, and they also had the 30th. They took Kevin Porter Jr. from USC. I'm going to give them, in my opinion, pretty average draft. I would almost have to say a little bit below average, simply because you already have Colin Sexton. How are you already giving up on him for Darius Garland? It's mind-boggling to me.
C as well. If we had C minuses, C minus or D plus. But yeah, I'll give him a C. I like Darius Garland a lot. That's not going to be a good fit. He's undersized. Sexton's a little undersized. What is he, like 6'3"? You can't move them to the 2 in this day unless they're really good offensively. Neither of them are that excelled yet. Garland is better offensively, but still, I don't get that. I had them taking Culver, and that would have been a great fit. If so, they would get an A. But they took Windler out of Belmont. They have Osmond, so maybe that's a decent pick. But
And they still do not have a backup for Tristan Thompson.
Still don't have a backup for Tristan Thompson that's worth anything. I mean, Sizik. But then Kevin Porter Jr., that's a steal, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I like that. But then again, that's going to go pretty average. C.
Pretty average. Next up, we have Chicago. They had 2 picks. Pretty good draft for them, in my opinion.
Great
With the
job.
7th pick in the first, they took Kobe White from North Carolina. And then with the 8th pick in the second round, they took Daniel Gafford from Arkansas. I'll give them a B, simply because I'm kind of thinking that they're going to try and transition Levine to the 1 maybe a little bit.
Not with Kobe now, in my opinion.
One or the other's going to happen.
I mean, yeah, he's going to be the point guard. He's a point guard now. I know it says shooting guard. He's a point guard in high school, college, did great at UNC. He's their man. They finally got their point guard. Chris Dunn now moves to a backup. Maybe he can thrive in that role. Starter, he couldn't handle it. Then they get their backup 5 in Daniel Gafford. That's backing up Wendell Carter Jr. No more Robin Lopez. He's out of town. And then Cristiano Felicio. Great job. Chicago executed. Unlike Phoenix, I give them an A. Next up, we have Charlotte, and they took P.J. Washington, first round, 12th pick. They took Cody Martin. We didn't have him going. Second round, 6th pick. And then Jalen McDaniels, 22nd pick in the second round. I'm going to give them a B because I love P.J. Washington. I like that pick for them. Jalen McDaniels has very good upside. But as you notice, they're just a bunch of bigs. They need anything at this point. But I don't understand picking up Martin. They've got a log jam at small forward. You can play Lamb, Batum, Kid Gilchrist, Bridges, maybe even Monk, Marvin Williams. I don't get it, but that's just me.
I'll give them a C, pretty average draft, simply because they're kind of playing a little bit reckless. They didn't really take a point guard. I mean, what are you going to do if Kemba was to leave?
I have Devontae Graham as their backup now that Tony Parker.
It's going to be a bad year if Kemba leaves.
Yes.
Next up, we have Boston. Boston had a pretty hefty amount of picks. They had the 14th and the first, they took a Romeo Langford from Indiana. They also had the 22nd, they took Grant Williams from Tennessee. And then in their second round picks, they had the 3rd, they took Carson Edwards from Purdue. And with the 21st, they took Tremont Waters from LSU.
B for me. I like Romeo Langford. I don't like him fitting, in my opinion. I just don't think he fits there. You know what I mean, he fits their play style, but just not them. He's a shooting guard and small forward. You got Jaylen Brown. You got Marcus Smart. You got Jason Tatum. Gershon Yebusel. Gordon Hayward. Even Morris could play it. Well, he might be out of town, but still. I just don't like him for them. I just don't see where he's going to fit. I love Grant Williams, though, especially if Morris does leave town. Hayward has not worked out as a 4. Grant Williams, do it all 4. I think that'll be a good pickup. Edwards is a backup for Rozier if Irving leaves town, which he will. And then Waters giving themselves another chance at a backup point guard if Edwards doesn't work out. So I'll give him a B.
I'll give them a C, pretty average draft, simply because I do, like he said, I do like them kind of hefting up the point guard position in case they don't get a big name or if Kyrie decides to leave. However, you have completely neglected the fact that you do not have a backup center.
Yeah. And Al Horford's probably leaving.
Al Horford probably going to leave town.
They have Aaron Baines and Daniel Theis and Robert Williams, but to be fair, they're Robert Williams and Daniel Theis are both 6'9". That's a really small center. But
That's about it. Next up, we have Brooklyn. With the first pick in the second round, they took a Nick Claxton from Georgia. And with the 26th in that round, they took Jalen Hands from UCLA. I'll give them a B. Simply because they've kind of filled their needs. I mean, it's not amazing talent, but at least you're trying to build a little bit of depth.
I'll give it a C. I'm surprised that Claxton fell that far. We had him going 22nd to Boston because we thought they needed a backup center, but apparently not. So they get their backup man for Jared Allen and Claxton. I like that. Actually, yeah, I'm going to change it to a B, matter of fact, because I do like that pickup as the backup. Jalen Hands, we didn't have him going, but I knew he'd get picked up by somebody if he didn't get drafted. I figured he'd get signed.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't like that, though, for them. You know, D'Angelo or Kyrie, you know, whatever they're saying. Dinwiddie, Napier, Theo Pinson. I don't like it for them, but I like Jalen Hands as a player. Atlanta. All right, they took DeAndre Hunter, 4th pick, 1st round. They traded, got that from the Pelicans. Then they took Cam Reddish with the 10th pick. Love that. Then Bruno Fernando with the 4th pick in the 2nd round. Absolutely outstanding job for Atlanta. They filled their need at small forward, DeAndre Hunter. I don't like him that much, but in this draft, pretty good player. Cam Reddish, probably going to bump him down to the 2. I like that a lot. Love Cam Reddish. I'm surprised he fell that far. Bruno Fernando, they get their backup or maybe even starting 5, which they've needed desperately. Dwayne Dedman and Miles Plumlee and Alex Len just not cutting it. I'm surprised he fell. We had him going 26 to Cleveland because we thought they needed a what? Backup center. Apparently not. Great job, Atlanta.
I cannot wait to watch this team in action. It's going to be very fun.
I'm assuming they're going to go Trae Young at the 1, Cam Reddish at the 2, Hunter at the 3, Collins at the 4, and then, in my opinion, Bruno Fernando at the 5. Herter as a 6-man, and Crab coming off the bench too. There's 2 lights-out shooters. Scary. Last team, and I didn't save them for last on purpose. It just happened this way. Miami Heat. All right, my team, my boys. If we kept the 44 pick, A+. We didn't. I don't know. I'm gonna give us a B. Give us a B. Simply because I do like Tyler Herro. I do. I've changed my opinion on him. Is it biased? Probably yes, just because he's on my team now. We needed offense. Let's just face it. We didn't have any offensive players outside of Goran Dragic and Dwayne Wade. Dwayne's gone. I mean, Dion's offensive, but is he consistent? No. Kelly Olynyk, offensive, consistent? No. So, Herro, I like him. You know, good defense potential, too. He plays hard, shoots the lights out. I like that. And then we traded to get the 32nd pick. We took KZ Okpala, 2nd pick in the 2nd round. I love that simply because we've done great at developing 2nd rounders, like Josh Richardson. I like it a lot. I'll give it a B.
I'll also go ahead and go and give him a B simply because I do like the Tyler Herro pick, not as much as I would have if they had taken, we all know who. But I could see him being a pretty average shooting guard for them. And nobody will ever take the place of Dwayne Wade, obviously. But I can see him being a pretty decent backup, maybe forming into a starter.
Yes.
And KZ Okpala, I really like that because
Just depth.
depth. And I like how they are going to try to
Trade James Johnson.
and then also transfer Justice Winslow from the 3 to the 1.
Yep. I mean, yeah. I just think, in my opinion, I had them taking Kevin Porter Jr., who I was excited about simply because he's raw and athletic. Or I wanted them to take Romeo Langford. They took somebody I did not even come close to thinking that they'd take. But in the mock draft, we only had 1 pick behind, going 14 to Boston. So maybe not that bad overall. I was probably overreacting. If you have me on social media, you would know I was a wreck. But anyway, so that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and share this to your friends. We're trying to grow this channel. We plan on being very consistent. We don't have a set day we're going to release videos or how many a week yet. We'll see how this does. Then we'll get that set up. In the meantime, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, and this is TND Sports Talk.
I'm Daniel.
And I'm Tanner.